Okay, welcome to week 7. Okay, so this week you're going to read chapter 6, the politics of public opinion. And then you're going to read chapter 8, the media. You're going to answer from chapter 6, question 22. You're also going to answer from chapter 8, question 26 and question 27. But wait, there's more. So, when we think about the media, we have to keep in mind, in 1949, the FCC wrote into law the Fairness Doctrine, and that required prominent news stories to have both sides aired on the news. They did not want news to skew facts. They did not want news media to manipulate and shape public opinion. But then in 1987, that Fairness Doctrine was repealed. And now news outlets can ignore vital stories that impact our lives. They can just ignore them in the interest of shaping that narrative. And so we can be easily manipulated because we need information to form opinions. And if somebody else is in control of that information, then it makes it just highly manipulatable. And then also, you'll see the importance of a free press to our system of government. And so you're going to look at a little article on something called the Pentagon Papers. The Pentagon Papers was a study published by a think tank named RAND, R-A-N-D. And Daniel Ellsberg was employed by RAND, and he is one of the only people to have ever read the 7,000-page study that they published titled The Pentagon Papers, and it was all about the United States involvement in Vietnam. And so Daniel Ellsberg leaked this, first to the New York Times and then to 17 other newspapers, and then word spread because he felt he felt first that the American public had a right to know what we were doing in Vietnam, and second, that if the American public had knowledge of what was going on in Vietnam, then they could vote out the elected officials who were keeping us in Vietnam. That's how our system of government is designed to work. And again, we have to have information so that we can make those informed votes, so we can make the necessary changes, so that our government functions correctly. So this went all the way to the Supreme Court because President Nixon was livid. He took this as a personal just attack. He had a leak. He was not happy about it. That's what led to Watergate, was trying to silence all future leaks and issues. And so it went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, hey, the American public has to know what Washington is up to. That's how this works. And that protected the right of free press that is contained in the First Amendment. So I just had a thought, and I don't have a pen, but I'm also going to link the First Amendment. So your assignment, you're going to look at the Fairness Doctrine. You're going to look at the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine. You're going to read the First Amendment, if I remember, and get that in. And I want you to look at this New York Times versus Nixon, that Supreme Court case. It's just 3 paragraphs. That's it. You can read it. And then also I'll have something about the Pentagon Papers and some questions around that for the assignment. So, because I want you to understand the value of information, the value of both sides. Think of it, if you have 2 friends and they all of a sudden don't like each other, and if you only listen to one friend's side of that story and you don't listen to the other friend's side, very likely you will never be able to piece together what's going on. Even if you hear both sides, you're still not going to know what's going on because the truth is somewhere in the middle. There's her side, his side, and the truth, hopefully, is somewhere in the middle. So you've got to have more information, not less. And you want to be the decider of what's important to you, not some news media outlet. So, all right, that's a takeaway. I'll get that assignment up and posted. Also, big news. I'm going to have everything graded by close of business tomorrow, which could be midnight, but I'm going to have everything graded by the end of tomorrow. All right, reach out with questions and have a great week.